Okay, so this is the third chapter that we'll have on contracts, and this one governs contracts for the sale and lease of goods. Um, so everything that we talked about in chapters 10 and 11 was common law, all right? Which means, well, we know what that means, but everything that we are going to discuss in this chapter is from the UCC. Now, the UCC is a uniform statute that was formed by a group of legal academics, i.e., law professors, who got together and then wrote down what they thought should be uh, model sales law, sale of goods, and then sent it to every state legislature. All right, and that was the Uniform Commercial Code. Now, all states have adopted Article 2 of the Uniform Commercial Code, which means that um, while we're learning the UCC, we're really learning state law, but every state has enacted the same law. All right, and when we're talking about contracts, we're dealing with Article 2 of the UCC. There are several articles, but for us, we're talking about Article 2. Article 2 deals with sales contracts. 2A deals with lease contracts. They really run kind of parallel, but we won't talk about leases. But the objective of the UCC was to facilitate commerce and transactions among businesses and also with businesses to consumers. All right. So just a visual. Primarily for services, i.e. non-sales transactions, services in real estate. And UCC controls services for the sale and lease of goods. Now, keep in mind, common law is broader than the UCC. So if the UCC is silent, doesn't address a particular area of contract law, we still may need to refer back to contract law to get the complete picture. All right. But if the UCC says something that contradicts, it's going to trump or take precedence over common law. Okay, so the threshold question is, what are goods? And the answer is tangible and movable property. All right, so the UCC excludes land, which is real property and all things attached to land. Some things may fall into both categories. I'm sorry, at different points in their lifetime. For example, if you have a HVAC unit, an air conditioning condenser, you see them sitting outside of every house. Well, if that's in a box in a warehouse, that's tangible and movable property, and that sale of that would be governed under the UCC. However, once it's installed and firmly connected to land, a house, it's real property. All right. In contracts for goods and services, when you get both, we apply the predominant factor test. All right. So if it's primarily the goods which are being transacted for, then it will fall under the UCC. If it's primarily services, then it would fall under common law. All right. We do need to determine whether parties are merchants. Merchants are held to a higher standard under the Uniform Commercial Code. So we'll talk about, as we progress through this chapter, we'll talk about some of those instances. All right.